You know, word of the wise there. If you want someone to play competitive with you and your name's I Am Nooblet, it turns people off. I'm gonna be real with you. Never judge a book by its cover. But I have played the in-game name since the old days. I know, I was just joking around, Nooblet. What just happened? Who the fuck does that rat ravager guy think he is? Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Unnecessary timeout? Nah, fuck that, dude. Talk shit to Rude, get stitches, get bitches, right? I want to know exactly what happened. I didn't even like pay attention to what happened. Bitches get stitches, or stitches get bitches. Yeah, that's what it says. Never judge a book by its cover, but judge a book by its cover. Are you a tard? Question mark. Excuse you? You looking for a ban? Fact of the matter is, he randomly called a model retard. If people think that's okay to do, more people will start doing it. There's no reason to talk to people that way. I didn't ban him. Yes, I understand the logic and authority is important, but a ban timeout was the right thing to do. He timed him out. I said to ban him, because I'm a dick. It's the same way of like someone coming in here and like being like, this game's a ripoff of Overwatch, or right? And like a lot of times I'll go and I'll talk to him. I had this conversation to myself every day. It's how to interact with people that come in here and they're kind of rude. And he wasn't like coming here being a dick. He called him a tard. That like in being online, you can't like express the emotion, the inflection of what you're saying. So there's one way of being like, yo, you're a tard. Like, why'd you say that? Or like, oh, you're a tard. And who knows how he was saying it? That's why emotes exist. That's why Kappa exists. So if you're like, you're a tard Kappa, then you know he's joking. Or you just don't really know that person's personality, so maybe that's the way he talks. Maybe they just joke around. But it sucks. And people that come into my stream and they say like, this is a ripoff of Overwatch. There's two ways that I can handle it. There's one, okay, awesome, 280. Awesome that we're getting that information out over there. Much appreciated for watching, man. But when someone comes over and says there's two ways I can handle it. One, I could talk to them and be a decent human being and go, listen, man, I don't think Overwatch is a ripoff. Why do you think Overwatch is a ripoff? And then they're like, this is a fucking ripoff and you suck. And it's like, oh, okay. Listen, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Like, I assume that you think McCree and Androxus are the same. Well, here, let me lay it out and tell you why they're not the same. And then it could turn in, and there's times that people have been complete dicks, and I remember a guy came in, he was like, this game's a ripoff, and I talked with him, and I talked him down. Everyone was hating on him. I was like, guys, no, come on, give him a chance. And he was like, oh, you know what? He's like, I'm glad that you shared your view, and, you know, I talked about how, like, I had to go through this shit of people doing that, and I was like, you know, I gotta be the bigger guy and kind of talk him down from it. And he's like, you know, it was really, I appreciate that you weren't a dick to me. I appreciate that you talked to me. I appreciate that you gave me, you know, the streamer side of it. And I'm thinking there, and I was just like, you came into a Paladins stream, to a streamer, playing Paladins, I don't know if I can reiterate that backwards twice if I need to, and said, this game sucks, it's a ripoff. And then I wasn't a dick to you, and you were like, thanks, man. You know, all other streams I've been going into that I scream that, they like ban me and stuff. Why do they do that? I don't know. Why do you think they do that? It's the type of thing that, like, would you do that in real life? Would you go up into a group of people that are like, you know, gay rights, and then you walk up and you're like, gays don't deserve rights. Are you stupid? Are you a tard? Are you retarded? You know what I mean? Like, just being incredibly rude to where, like, maybe you're not actually that big of a dick. Maybe you don't understand the reasons that you're being a dick. You need to be told why you're being a dick. But it's like, you always got to go into different things with an open mind, right? And that's why people that say these things when they come into a stream, I try to normally, and this is all from a tangent off of one. This is one reaction that I can have to someone to say those things is I can explain it to them. I can be nice. And then there's option 2. And I think I'm gonna have this bound to a button, kind of like this.
Password is Kami.
Password is Kami. Like I could have one that yells, not today. I can have one that says, not today. And that's when someone comes in there and they go, this game's a ripoff of Overwatch. I'm gonna go, click, not today. And he's gonna get banned 3 seconds later. And it's just like, I don't feel like dealing with your shit. I don't feel like having to deal with you yelling at me, telling me I'm a piece of shit and I'm playing a poor man's Overwatch and shit like that. And then I'm like, you know what, calm down, buddy, calm down. Let me get you a cup of tea. Let me get you some crumpets. I don't know, this turned into kind of a racial thing with EU and British people, but you know, let me stroke your hair and tell you why this game's not really that big of a ripoff of Overwatch. And then there's other times where I'm a grandpa who's been a veteran who doesn't take shit from nobody, and they walk in and says this game's a ripoff, and I boot his ass outside my house 2 seconds later. That's 2 ways I can take it. And this whole like two ways of taking things can all be directly related to any other thing that hits my stream that I'm not a big fan of. Like with the Rat Ravager thing, you know, he was probably fucking around, man. Maybe he didn't hear me. Maybe the stream was lagging. Maybe he had to refresh, and he refreshes and BTTV loads, and he sees Rude just say, "Don't judge a book by its cover," but you know, judge a book by its cover. And it's like, he's like, you know, he's trying to stick up for the people, be like, "Hey, that's fucking wrong. You don't judge a book by its cover. Are you a tard?" And then he gets timed down. He's like, "Wait a minute. I thought I was the good," you know what I mean? Like, you don't know the circumstances. When people are dicks in game, sometimes I don't even like say, fuck those people, you know? Maybe they're just having a bad day. I've had a bad day. I've had tons of bad days. And I hold it inside my body until it goes into this bubbling rage, and then I bite my desk and punch walls and walls. And, you know, that might end up being more expensive than lashing out at people, but I don't like to be rude to people to make them upset. I don't actually do that, but, you know, it's whatever. I do things, I do some of those things. I do bite things. I like to bite down. Like if I'm playing Smash against a bot and he keeps doing like a jab attack and I can't hit him, it's just, I'll literally take the GameCube controller, put it in my mouth and go, and I'll fucking bite down on it. I do weird things, dude. I do weird things. Everyone has a different way that they can express their anger, or express their hate, or express their having a bad day and that they're sad. It doesn't fucking matter, but try not to be a dick, right? Go into a game, you lose, you're upset, you're playing ranked, you're at high elo, a bunch of people, they're plebs or whatever. Don't fucking don't call them pieces of shit. Don't call them. Just don't be a dick. I've said this multiple times and things. Whatever. Rant is over. We need to go figure out who we're gonna host. If you're sticking around for the rant, it's right. So like, is someone recording this cringe fiesta? So this is when I go, not today, and then he gets banned. So like, not today. That's a perfect. Thank you, Rat Ravager. I love you, dude. Thank you so much for completely and utterly giving me a demonstration of which I can have two ways, where at first I was like, listen, Rat Ravager, maybe he was having a bad day, maybe he wasn't, you know, trying to be a dick, and then you go off and say a dickish thing like, are you watching this cringe fiesta, in which you get immediately banned, you piece of shit. So thank you so much for doing that for me.
Hey, thanks for watching. I'm not gonna be one of those people who asks you to like and subscribe, so I'm not gonna ask.